As we reported at the top of the hour tonight, there's going to be some very long-awaited history made tomorrow. President Biden expected to announce from the White House that all U.S. troops will be withdrawn from Afghanistan by September 11th of this year, 20 years after the U.S. first invaded. Joining us now is Washington Post national security and Pentagon reporter Missy Ryan, who was first to break the news of Biden's withdrawal plan today. Ms. Ryan, thank you so much for being here with us tonight, and thanks for your reporting on this.
Thanks, Rachel.
Why now? Why is the president making this decision now?
So the Biden administration was facing a May 1 deadline under a deal that was negotiated by the Trump administration to withdraw all U.S. troops from Afghanistan. And so they faced this quandary coming into office, have 3 months to figure out whether or not they tried to comply with the deal, pull out all American forces in the middle of an ongoing peace negotiating process, or whether they stay beyond that deadline. And what Biden announced, which was not a huge surprise today, was that they are going to stay an extra 4 months, and they will bring all troops home by September 11th, which is the 20th anniversary of the attacks of 9/11. And, you know, it's really a moment where the Biden administration is trying to pivot American foreign policy and engagement with the world. You know, we've had these 2 decades of counterterrorism, counterinsurgency wars, and now they really are looking to engage more, focus more on competition with China, with Russia, on global health and climate change, and they're hoping that ending the war in Afghanistan will allow them to do this.
I feel like people hearing this news today and even hearing you talk about it right now may be having a sense of deja vu, because so many previous presidents have talked about ending the war in Afghanistan. In this case, it is sort of a qualitatively different decision, though, isn't it? This is, as the administration made clear today, and as you made clear in your reporting, this is not a conditions-based thing. This is not a target date. If X happens, then we'd like to leave by Y. This is a date certain, no matter what's happening on the ground, and it is a final decision. Is that fair?
It is fair. At least, you know, I mean, as you suggest, you know, those of us who have been covering Afghanistan for a long time, there have been so many reversals and twists and turns. But as it stands right now, and I think it is reasonable to expect that they will fulfill this commitment to go down to close to zero by September. There'll be some sort of small military presence to secure the embassy in Afghanistan. But, you know, it's important to remember also that we're already at the lowest level, about 2,500 to 3,500 troops right now, already at the lowest level that the United States has had in Afghanistan since the very early days of the war. And, you know, at the height of President Obama's surge, it was around 100,000 troops. So it really is a very different moment. And I think the big question right now will be what occurs in the aftermath of the American departure. What occurs with the peace process that everybody hopes will result in some sort of sustainable peace and a new transitional government in Afghanistan, some sort of stable governing arrangement. And then what happens with the Taliban? Will they try to press their military advantage and really go forward and try to take over Kabul, which is sort of the worst case scenario that some of the critics have been talking about today?
Washington Post national security and Pentagon reporter Missy Ryan, who again broke the news today about the president's expected public announcement tomorrow that the war in Afghanistan will finally end. The U.S. troops will be gone by September 11th of this year. Missy, thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Again, and keep in mind that as big a news as this is, and I know that Afghanistan, some people, particularly Afghan war veterans, sometimes call it Forgotistan, is something that has stayed off the radar for a long time, given that it has been an ongoing U.S. war for 20 years. But for American veterans and military families who have served since 9/11, the end of this war is a really big deal. And particularly people who have served in that conflict over these past 20 years, it ending and U.S. troops leaving full stop. The only troops that will be left behind will be those to protect the embassy. It is something that has been more than long awaited, and it's just it's a historic moment. I'm looking forward to seeing the president's remarks on it tomorrow. Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.